The Trews are a Canadian hard rock band from Antigonish, Nova Scotia, consisting of vocalist Colin MacDonald, guitarist John-Angus MacDonald, bassist Jack Syperek, and drummer Gavin Maguire. The band is currently based in Toronto, Ontario. History: the band started their career with the name One-Eyed Trouser, a line taken from a song in Monty Python H. Nova Scotia, before changing their name to Trouser, and eventually the Trews. They released an EP as One-Eyed Trouser, and a second EP under the name The Trews. In the early summer of 2002 the band entered Rocksearch, a high-profile contest that is held annually by HTZ-FM, a St. Catharines rock radio station. Winning the contest would prove to be their big break as they soon landed a recording contract with Bumstead Productions Limited. The release of their first full-length CD House of Ill Fame, soon followed in 2003. Produced by Big Sugar's Gordie Johnson, the album contained the singles Every In Ambition, Not Ready to Go, Tired of Waiting, Fleeting Trust, and Confessions. Not Ready to Go hit number 1 on Canadian rock radio and was the most played song of 2004 in that format. The band was nominated as New Group of the Year at the 2004 Juno Awards, and Not Ready to Go was nominated as Single of the Year in 2005. House of Ill Fame has been certified gold in Canada. It was re-released with a bonus live album called The Live Cut, which featured live versions of songs taken from the album. The song Hollis and Morris on their first album refers to an intersection in the nearby city of Halifax, and not an intersection in Antigonish as previously speculated. The band has mentioned during concerts and in interviews that the corner of Hollis and Morris is notorious for prostitution. The band released a follow-up to House of Ill Fame on August 16, 2005. The album, Den of Thieves, was produced by legendary producer Jack Douglas. The first single, So She's Leaving, was released to radio June 28, 2005 and was followed by the singles Yearning, which was their second single to reach number 1, Poor Old Broken Hearted Me, and I Can't Say. In the summer of 2005 the band was invited to share the stage with the Rolling Stones at the Phoenix Concert Theatre in Toronto as part of the Stones' Bigger Bang Tour. In fall of the same year they were invited to open for Led Zeppelin singer Robert Plant on his Across Canada Arena tour. Den of Thieves was certified Canadian Gold in April 2006. The album was released April 18, 2006 in the United States on Red Ink and Sony BMG. The Trews were nominated in the Best New Band category in Classic Rock Magazine's 2007 Classic Rock Roll of Honor Awards. Issue number 104 of the magazine also included a 4-track promotional EP entitled Out of the Past, Into the Dark. The Trews' third album, No Time for Later, was released in February 2008. The first single, Hold Me in Your Arms, was made available on November 25, 2007. It premiered at the 2007 Grey Cup pre-game show and was immediately released on iTunes. The video for the song eventually went to number 1 on Much Music for a week in April 2008. In early 2009, Hold Me in Your Arms won in the 8th Annual Independent Music Awards, US, for Best Hard Rock Metal Song. A bonus song called Long Way from Freedom was included with the single but was not released on the album. Hold Me in Your Arms went on to spend 22 weeks in the top 10 at rock radio in Canada and in May 2010 was certified Canadian Gold to commemorate the sales of over 20,000 digital downloads. In early February 2008, the band added keyboardist Jeff Hirschholt to their live lineup. The second single from No Time for Later was Paranoid Freak, the video for which was released in May and went straight into rotation on Much Music. The third single, a ballad called Man of Two Minds, was released September 8, 2008 and the video reached number 1 on Much Music's sister station Much More Music. The fourth single, Can't Stop Laughing, was sent to radio in January 2009 with a video that followed in April and became the band's 10th single to enter the top 10 at Canadian rock radio. The band was nominated for 2 Juno Awards in 2009, Album of the Year and Group of the Year. No Time for Later was released in the United States on April 7, 2009, on Rovingian Music. The first single Paranoid Freak was sent to radio a few weeks prior to its release and was added in heavy rotation at Sirius Satellite Radio's Alt Nation. The second single in the US was Hold Me in Your Arms, and garnered significant play at Active Rock. Their second live album, Acoustic, Friends and Total Strangers, released October 6, 2009, was an acoustic session recorded over 2 nights at Toronto's Glenn Gould studio in January 2009 for a live audience. It was released without any edits or overdues and was produced by the band's guitarist John-Angus MacDonald. There is also a 23-song DVD of the same name available which captures the second night's performance in its entirety as well as candid interviews with the band. The release earned the band their 5th Juno nomination for DVD of the Year in 2010. The album's only single, Sing Your Heart Out, a new song written specifically for the performances, won Best AAA Alternative Song at the 2010 International Acoustic Music Awards. Following Acoustic, Friends and Total Strangers, the band released the single Highway of Heroes. It was inspired by the 2006 death of Captain Nicola Goddard, the first Canadian female soldier killed in Afghanistan and a schoolmate of members of the Trews. It refers to the stretch of Highway 401 in Ontario, between CFB Trenton and downtown Toronto, where hundreds gather on bridges and overpasses to mourn soldiers killed in Afghanistan while the bodies of the fallen soldiers are transported from Trenton to the coroner's office in downtown Toronto. The song was made available on iTunes in Canada only, with all proceeds from the sales of the song going to the Canadian Hero Fund, a charity that provides academic scholarships to the spouses and children of soldiers killed in combat. In October 2014, Highway of Heroes was certified gold in Canada for sales of over 40,000 digital downloads. In November 2010, the band performed the Canadian national anthem at the 98th Grey Cup in Edmonton. The band's 4th studio album, Hope and Ruin, was released on April 12, 2011. The album was co-produced by John-Angus MacDonald and the Tragically Hip's Gord Sinclair and was recorded at the Hip's own Bathouse studio in Bath, Ontario. The album was mixed by Canadian engineer mixer Mike Fraser. The first single Hope and Ruin entered the top 10 at Canadian rock radio within 3 weeks of its release. The video for Hope and Ruin received significant play on Much More Music. The second single and video from the album, The World, I Know, received significant play and is the 12th single to enter the top 10 at rock radio in Canada. The third single from Hope and Ruin was Misery Loves Company, which climbed to number 6 on the rock charts, making it the band's 13th top 10 rock single. Hope and Ruin was released in Australia with first single Hope and Ruin receiving heavy airplay on Australian rock radio chain Triple M. The band toured the continent 3 times during the album cycle. Hope and Ruin was also released in the United Kingdom, with The World, I Know acknowledged in the top songs of 2011 by Classic Rock magazine. The band toured the UK and the USA heavily during this time. In August 2012, the band supported Bruce Springsteen at Magnetic Hill outside of Moncton, New Brunswick. They were invited by Bruce to join him in his encore for a 10-minute rendition of Twist and Shout. On November 6, 2012, the band issued a 7-song EP entitled Thank You and I'm Sorry. Co-produced by John-Angus MacDonald and Gordie Johnson, the EP features guest appearances by the Black Crowes' Rich Robinson as well as ex-Black Crowes' Eddie Harsh. Ian McLagan of the Small Faces and the Faces also makes an appearance. The EP's first single The Power of Positive Drinking received extensive airplay across Canada, reaching number 1 on the CBC Rock chart the week of December 7, 2012. In April 2014, the band released its 5th full-length studio album eponymously titled The Trews. It was the band's highest-charting debut to date, reaching number 1 on the rock, alternative and independent album charts and number 3 on the overall chart in Canada. The album's first single, What's Fair is Fair, reached number 2 on the Canadian Active Rock radio chart and its video received heavy play on Much More and Much Loud. The album's second and third singles Rise and The Wake, and New King also reached the top 10 at Canadian rock radio, bringing the total to 16 top 10 active rock hits. In the August 2014 edition of the UK's classic rock magazine, 90,000 copies of The Trews was distributed free with the magazine. The issue featured Slash on its cover. In September 2014 the band took part in the first ever Cape Fest in Sydney, Cape Breton, Nova Scotia along with Slash and Aerosmith. Sean's departure. On July 14, 2015, drummer Sean Dalton stepped down from the band, sending this message to fans via email: "To all the hardcore troubadours out there, well, what can I say folks, it's been an amazing run. The years playing with the Trews have been best years of my life. Countless hours in the jam space and playing thousands of live shows all over the world have shaped me as a musician, and playing with such great guys has made me a better human being. I will miss it very much. Due to unforeseen circumstances, I've decided to step down from the drum throne. Nothing weird going on here folks. Just time to do what's best for me and the family. I wish the Trews nothing but the best, and was so fortunate to play with the best friggin' band in the country. I'll be hanging with you all in the crowd at the next show." Gavin Maguire took over as the band's drummer. Discography Studio albums EPs Live albums Video albums Singles Featured singles. Band members Current members Colin MacDonald, rhythm guitar, lead vocals, John-Angus MacDonald, lead guitar, backing vocals, Jack Syperek, bass guitar, backing vocals, Gavin Maguire, drums, backing vocals. Touring members Jeff Hirschholt, keyboards, backing vocals. Past members Rose Murphy, drums, Ramsey Clark, drums, Sean Dalton, drums. Timeline